Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The Lloydminster RCMP is holding a Youth RCMP Academy for high school students that have an interest in pursuing law enforcement after they graduate. I'm happy to be joined with Constable Kelsey Davidge with the Lloydminster RCMP. And today we're going to be talking about a program the RCMP is putting on called the Youth RCMP Academy. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course, no problem.
Of course. Now, can we start with what the Youth Academy is?
For sure. It's a program designed for high school students between the ages of 16 to 18. So grade 10 to 12. We did have a couple grade 9 applicants that we did review this year and have done for intake. And it's designed for students who have potential careers, who want a potential career in law enforcement, corrections, or just policing in general.
That's amazing. And for those who sign up and attend the academy, what are some of the things that they can expect?
For sure, the students who attend the academy experience a variety of activities that a police cadet would, including physical fitness training, defense tactics, application of the law, emergency response, even canine demonstrations, and FIS. So that's our fingerprint section, actually comes out and does a demonstration with them as well.
That sounds amazing, especially for those students who want a career in law enforcement. This will give them the head start for when they graduate high school. What are some of the benefits this youth academy gives those who do attend?
It's almost like a mini mock depot. So that is the police training that all our CMP officers go to in Regina, Saskatchewan. It kind of gives you an insight to what that would entail, kind of how everything works, your schedule throughout the day. And it really gives you an insight to what it's like to be a police officer.
Now, is this a yearly thing, and how long does the academy go on for?
This year, we're only running it for 3 days. So this year, it'll be between February 21st to 23rd, 2023, during that spring break. We haven't had it in a couple years, unfortunately. So this is kind of our Kickstarter back to the program.
And if there are any youth that would like to sign up, how can they do so, and what is the process like?
Yeah, they could attend the detachment, and we have printed versions of the application here at the front counter. They could also go to any of the high schools here in Lloydminster, and applications have been left at the office for them to fill out.
Is there anything else that you would like to add regarding the Youth Academy?
No, we're just happy to have this program back and want the students of Lloydminster and youth of Lloydminster to experience this and be able to be given that opportunity to see what it's like to actually be a police officer.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This academy sounds like a great way for youth who want a career in law enforcement to get involved early. So thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you the best of luck when the academy takes place in a couple of months.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
A new dark holiday novel has been released by author Freddie Cruz. Our Shelby Clark has the details on what readers can expect.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is media host and author Freddie Cruz. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Freddie.
Hey, Shelby, it's great to see you. Thank you.
Of course, because you got an interesting novel in the works here that's been released. Allow Me to Ruin Your Christmas, it's called. So it already sounds like it's pretty interesting. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Absolutely. This book is definitely not for the feel-good, happy-go-lucky fan of warm, fuzzy Christmas time movies and TV shows. This is the polar opposite. This was something that was born out of a desire to kind of just go rogue for a little bit. You know, I was on a podcast interview a few weeks ago, and the host had said something to the effect of, you know, Freddie, I kind of get where you're coming from, because Christmas, as great as it is, it's all this build up and building up and building up and building up and going and shopping for presents and making the cookies and making the homemade stews and whatnot. And it's all for one day. And then what do you do on that one day? And then the one day just flies by. And so I was like, yeah, it's kind of sort of like that. Maybe it's a bit of a projection on my part. When I had first started writing the book, it was in July of last year, and there were the Christmas in July movies on some of the cable network channels. And I was like, you know what? I think there's something I can work with. And I just kind of let my imagination take me to a really strange place, and that's how we ended up with the book.
Well, it sounds like a very cool idea. I like that it kind of has, that holiday theme, but also thriller aspect to it. It's pretty like a dark Christmas kind of novel. So it sounds like it's going to be pretty intense. I think it's a nice switch up, a nice twisted story that many people, readers as well out here are probably going to really like. So it definitely sounds interesting. Now, how's that support been so far with this novel?
So far, so good. But I'm a fan of what we call. I've got a friend of mine who does public speaking. He trains public speakers, and so it's the hot and cold feedback. Hot meaning good feedback, and cold meaning, hey, you messed up here. Is what you can do better, Shelby. Right? So I'm longing for some cold feedback. I cannot wait. One of my favorite authors, Jack Carr, he hosts a podcast, and one of the things that he does every now and again is read his 1-star reviews. And I would love to eventually get to where I get so many reviews that I can make an entire podcast episode or YouTube video out of really creative 1-star reviews. That would be great. I mean, I'm not asking to be hated on. I'm just saying that, hey, I'm ready for a really creative sounding. Maybe if there's someone out there who says, this book, rah, 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 come my way.
Yeah, and it's great to know how open you are with criticism. A lot of people are going to leave some ridiculous comments every now and then. So it's good to know that you are excited to be able to read those and kind of help share them and laugh it off and, sometimes take that important feedback if you like it. Now, what can you say readers can expect? And I know you were already kind of explaining what it's all about, but what can you say readers can expect with this story? Kind of like a message you're hoping that they get out of this after they read it.
Absolutely. By the end of the story, I want you feeling bad for the person whose demise you were cheering for. I created some really complex characters, and backing up a little bit, the story is written first person present from the perspectives of the two main characters. So one character being Beckett, who is a early 20s. I feel like I should know, as the author, I feel like I should know his age, but he's a college kid who catches his favorite podcaster who is in his 40s. His name is Lex. Catches Lex in his home with his mother, and it all cascades from there,
Mhm.
and finds out that Lex was involved in the death of his father. And so it's a comedy of misfortunes for everybody involved. Um, Lex's wife ends up getting brought into the mix, and yeah, everything devolves from the moment that Beckett found out that Lex was involved with the death of his dad. And yeah, it was interesting to see where I let my flow state kind of lead me. There's some twists and turns, and again, it's one of those things where I want the reader to really question whose demise they were rooting for.
And for people wanting to check out your work, with this new novel as well, and just kind of look a little bit more into Freddie Cruz yourself, where can people look online to just find more information?
You can catch up with me. I'd love to hear your feedback, hot or cold. I love connecting with people who have taken the time to read my work, whether it's Allow Me to Ruin Your Christmas or if it's any of the other two books that I've read or a podcast. I love the feedback, and I appreciate the time that they have taken out of their busy schedules to engage with something that I created. So thank you, and I would look forward to hearing from anybody.
Perfect. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Freddie.
All right, Shelby, thank you.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Welcome back. Now it's time to take a look into the archives in this week's edition of Retrospect.
We start our look back in time in 1993 as members of Edmonton's CFL team bring the Grey Cup to Lloydminster.
Good morning. Hi, I'm in Lloydminster, freezing. What is the temperature outside? It's like -40 outside. Remind me of the game we beat Calgary.
It's been close to a month since the Eskimos captured the Grey Cup. Since then, the team has been busy taking the cup on the road. Lloydminster's one of many stops, and for Willie Pless and Gizmo Williams, it's been a chance to meet the fans.
The most important thing is you get a chance to see a lot of them in Edmonton because we work mostly in Edmonton, but to go out to places like Camrose and here in Lloydminster and all the other places where a lot of people just see the game on TV, don't have a chance to come to Edmonton. And it's great to bring the trophy out here and see the people thrill, and happy to see some Eskimos, you know, instead of just seeing them on TV, and just be around touching them and have a great time with them. And the most important thing is to bring the cup out and let them, you know, celebrate with it, you know, just like we did. Because, you know, a lot of guys in the CFL play maybe 9 or 10 years, never even get a chance to touch it. And some people, you know, just, you know, haven't even played football and get a chance to touch it. I think it's a thrill for a lot of people.
The thing I like most about meeting the fans is they're very excited about meeting us, and they have an opportunity to talk to us and you know, just answer some of the questions or just joke around a little bit just to see them laugh. And you know, sometimes you see a smile come on some of the little kids' face, and that brings joy to us. So it's rewarding for us, and that's why we do it.
15-yard line, the Eskimos let the clock run right down, and this one will put it away.
Last season was a season to remember for the Eskimos, capped off with the Grey Cup. Gizmo second.
Each year it gets sweeter and sweeter. Every time you win it, it's better and better. So right now, the second one hasn't sunk in yet. It probably won't sink in until I get my Grey Cup ring in probably May or June when we go back to training camp.
Well, Gizmo and the Eskimos are looking forward to defending the Grey Cup. The CFL itself continues to look to the U.S. for expansion. And for these American-born players in Pless and Williams, expansion is both positive, then again, negative.
I think Larry Smith definitely knows what he's doing. He's been doing an outstanding job since he took over the commissioner's job. So that's the only thing we can do as players, just leave it in his hands, and we know he's doing the best for the CFL.
The most important thing to do, but I just hope they don't never change the rules, though. I think we should basically stick to the CFL rule because it's a great tradition and it's a great game. It speeds up the game a lot. If you watch a Grey Cup game and you watch the Super Bowl game, I guarantee you'll see the excitement more in the CFL.
Following more signing and smiling, Gizmo, Pless, and the Grey Cup will head back to the City of Champions, with more stops throughout the province of Alberta scheduled in the new year.
And moving forward to 1997, just days before Christmas, the border city was still waiting to see the white stuff.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Not gonna happen. This could be the first brown Christmas since 1959. Usually, kids are skating on frozen ponds in December. This year, quite a different story.
Another day for roll, but just get some practice in.
So, what about the local economy?
I think this part of the world needs snow to make the world go round. The car people who repair cars, the clothing people need to sell warm clothes, the skidoo people need to sell skidoos. The travel business is affected by it, I think a little bit, but not as much as people might think.
A lot of snow and cold weather helps our business quite a bit.
But the hot temps can turn into cold cash for business.
Yeah, it's the busiest day of the year.
And the crowds in the mall prove that. The lack of snow doesn't seem to be stopping the shopping.
Beautiful, love it, gorgeous, fantastic. We want snow for one day though, Christmas, that's it. Just that stuff that melts right away though, after like a day.
It's beautiful.
I think it's wonderful to have weather like this at this time of the year.
Wonderful. I don't like snow very much at all.
It's nice. I kind of like to see snow for Christmas though.
Well, you don't have to wear all these heavy clothes and boots and stuff. And sure helps on fuel costs and stuff. So.
I prefer snow for Christmas.
And some remain optimistic.
They say it could snow. So.
And the feelings are mixed on the weather dampening Christmas spirits.
Oh no. Nope. It does. It doesn't. It's kind of hard to get into Christmas shopping when it's not snowing, but other than that, we don't mind.
A little bit. It doesn't quite feel like Christmas.
What do you think? Brooms instead of shovels?
It's hard to believe I can stand out here and not really be that cold in my shirt and sweep the sidewalk on December 23rd. By the way, it's my granddaughter Caitlin's birthday, and I'll always remember this the rest of my life, to think that you could do something like this. It's hard to believe.
And this has been our look back at this week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.